Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and we are proud to present World Jenny's Day. Joining us for this honor is the creator and founder of World Jenny's Day and the Epiphany Process. She's in Kenya right now, and her name is JENETTA Barry. Let's welcome her to the program. Hello, JENETTA.
Hello, Dr. Jacalyn. Always a delight to be together with you again, and especially on this show. It's a very meaningful show, and such a meaningful collaboration too between USA Global TV and Radio and World Jenny's Day. And today we have this program on a weekly basis to keep everybody up to date with the many directions that World Jenny's Day just seems to naturally go into year after year, because it's all about creativity. And when you're in your creative zone, and that includes not just people, but the actual essence of a project, it goes out like that. It's like a ripple effect. Putting a stone in water and it just goes like that. So we've got quite a lot to share again this week, especially this particular month. We've gone into the 1st of August, and there's been 8 months of planning for the second because we had one last year, safari cycle bike ride through 2 game parks to fundraise for World Jenny's Day. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. So, Dr. Jacalyn, the very first thing that we are so excited to share about is that we're getting press coverage. I don't know if you've noticed that at all. Have you seen the press coverage?
Yes, I saw some of it. It looks great.
Yeah, we're really pleased. Well, I actually have it here if you'd like to share it with us. So on Sunday, we had the Express newspaper in UK, and it's Express Online, and they sent it worldwide. It wasn't just UK. And a whole article that they interviewed me on during the course of last week, and chose the photos to go in as well, and the whole story, the backstory of what happened with Jen and me and how I didn't cope. It covers a little bit about how I felt such a myriad of feelings when I found Jenny had taken her life. And those contradictions for most people cause a lot of stressful guilt and grief. And that so there was a bit covered there in helping people how to deal with that. And overall, it gives a story of how I got out. In fact, back here, this is a picture of Jenny when she was 5 years old. We were on holiday at the time, and so that's Jen. And yeah, so it was a really meaningful article. And what I was really so very, very, what's the word I want? Thankful for was that so often newspapers and magazines can sensationalize things. And I had a really bad experience early on in my journey where it was just some awful journalism. So when a tasteful and loving and thoughtful piece like this one was, they were very, very careful with it, comes out, then it's easy to talk the truth and the details of what happened and start changing those conversations. And I think that's where my heart gladdened yet again this week, because the Mirror did us too, and they're going to be doing us again. But they did us 2 years ago and did exactly the same. And I'm just, my heart is full that journalism is changing and becoming more sensitive and real and authentic. And this actually is an example of that. And if you want to read it, you can get it actually on their website, but you can also go to the World Jenny's Day social media channels, from my profile to in Facebook to World Jenny's Day on Facebook. It's on Twitter, LinkedIn as well, and you can read it in those places as well. So for me, this was another big step in getting that message out there, to changing conversations and normalizing conversations around depression and suicide.
Well, congratulations, JENETTA. That's outstanding. And I'm so sorry that you had a bad experience prior to that. I can't imagine how somebody could write something that would be painful and upsetting. I don't know what people are thinking, but I'm glad that you're getting some good coverage now. Maybe you want to drop the link here so that people can just click on it.
I'll do that right now, and then they can get it. There we go. There's the link.
Thank you.
Yes, so it's the Express, as you can see, it's express.co.uk, but News of the World. And if you look at that number, it's all full of 7s and 9s. I always laugh when I see that, because that's the other part of Jenny. So yeah, You know, we invite lots of interaction online. If you manage to find the link in our social media channels, please do comment and ask questions. The more we talk about this, the more life is going to become more manageable for whenever all of us feel compromised at some time or another. It's these sort of conversations that help us to start living normal lives when challenged, instead of feeling we're different from everybody else. And that is what really essentially World Jenny's Day is all about. So I really, my heart was very full for that. And then I wanted to also share with you. Um, last week, I talked a little bit about the morphing of the butterfly from being a yellow butterfly to why it went into being a monarch butterfly and then became a rainbow butterfly. So for anybody who wasn't with us last year, please bear with us, those of you who were. Soon after Jenny died, I started asking scientific questions, saying, science says energy cannot be created or destroyed, but as it finishes being in one form, it reforms into a new version of itself. So my daughter was filled with energy. Let me tell you, she had a lot of energy in her. So I was asking, where's Jenny's energy? And so over a course of 4 years, I started tuning in differently to see where that energy might be. And at the same time, asking and questioning and going, is this me distorting the truth, so I can say, oh yeah, there's Jenny's energy. But one of the first things that started coming through in that first year, in fact, at the end of the first year, on the anniversary of her death to the time she died, I'd been told by a psychic that yellow butterflies would be very significant with Jenny and me. And I was standing on the top of the hill in Malaga in Spain, overlooking the harbor in Malaga at the time of the first anniversary of her death. And I looked at my watch occasionally and, well, oh yeah, it's 10 minutes to the time that she died a year ago. And at the exact time that we hit that 1/2 mark, this yellow butterfly suddenly came, and it was the first time I'd had it, came around and flew in front of us, and I'm going, oh my word. So that was the start of the yellow butterflies. I've had them for so many reasons. Often when I'm consulting with a client with a similar energy to Jenny, suddenly I'll look out the window and there's this butterfly going like this in front of me. Or by way of example, the day before my mother died, I was on the phone to my son Neil about the fact that she was very weak. And as we were talking, a yellow butterfly flew into my lounge and all around me as I was talking to Neil. So yellow's been very significant. And then 9 years, here's another 9. The 7 and 9s is another way that communication happens. But 9 years after Jenny died, we happened to be, but coincidentally, celebrating Catherine's 21st birthday party on that anniversary, 10th of October. It was the only time we could get that venue. And so Neil, Catherine, my other daughter, and I, Neil, my son, we went to a tattoo parlor for me to have a yellow butterfly put on my ankle. And he refused to put it on and said it'll last 2 seconds because yellow fades with tattooing, and sent me away and said, bring me something more significant. So we came back with a yellow monarch butterfly, and part of me was going, well, this isn't it at all. But anyway, I'll follow it. And I got this beautiful butterfly put on my ankle. And for many years, I wonder why it's gone into a monarch butterfly, but okay. And then in 2020, World Jenny's Day was born. And as we sat there talking about logos and significance, I went, it would be so amazing to take the unbelievably different rainbows Jenny's sent me over the years and incorporate it with the butterfly. And that's how the rainbow butterfly was birthed, because we took the monarch butterfly and put the rainbow in, and when, that's when I went, that's why I had a monarch butterfly. It was the butterfly morphing. So I'm delighted to show you, this is a very short clip. If you could show this, Dr. Jacalyn, that would be great. Is it not showing? Let me, there it is. We'll start again. Okay, so that's the yellow butterfly morphing to, and then through, and we had it animated this week. So that was another one that we were able to put together this week and launch and put the story. It's going to be very significant because for some of you might remember, we launched a butterfly pin for World Jenny's Day that you can wear on your lapel. And we're getting AI and AR involved with that pin. I'm meeting next week. It's just unbelievable what's going to happen with this pin with AI and AR. And that story is going to be a part of it. So we put that together this week. So just watch this space. When we launch this AR, artificial, now I've forgotten the name, artificial intelligence and artificial reality. What you're going to be able to do with this pin when you wear it on your lapel with your phone, I'm just over the moon about it. So that's the next thing. But I thought I'd share and take a jump backwards, because World Jenny's Day, I believe, is becoming the leader in mental health in AI and AR, thanks to Your Global Village, who have been amazing. But before we met Your Global Village, we already had something very meaningful and special put together for us for World Jenny's Day 2021. And it was amazing. It was a filter that was put together by a man from Sri Lanka called Aranga Mendes. Such an amazing man. And what he did is he created 3 rainbow butterfly filters for Instagram. You can still get them on the World Jenny's Day Instagram account, and you go in there and you can load them up. So you get, if you'd like to share this, Dr. Jacalyn, this is what we had 3 years ago, or 2 years ago.
On Jenny's Day, so she has its own Instagram filter showing the amazing symbol that we have of the beautiful rainbow butterfly, highlighting World Jenny's Day. Amazing.
This is 2 years ago.
3 days to World Jenny's Day, this 10th of October. And look, I have this amazing rainbow butterfly filter to show my support for World Jenny's Day. If you want, good morning. We have 3 days to World Jenny's Day. It's the 10th of October. I hope you're excited about it. If you want to see more, then please follow the link in the
How about that?
That's really cool, JENETTA. I love it. And that's called artificial reality?
That's an AR filter that was made 2 years ago for World Jenny's Day, right in the middle of the lockdown. This man he was following us. He's still very quietly behind the scenes for us and with us. And suddenly I got told by him, go give me your Instagram details. I've got something to put there. And it was his gift to World Jenny's Day. And so I'm looking forward to being able to use that some more as well, because that is significantly different. And that's what World Jenny's Day and being creative is all about. So I also mentioned to you, remember last week we talked about my virtual office. And in actual fact, I have a virtual office on the metaverse in the web And my virtual office address is number 18 Global Square, Your Global Village Metaverse. And we talked about it, and I showed a bit of a video on it. And now they've launched the actual tour. It's a very quick tour to music around my office. So I thought I would show you this. This was also launched this week, and over the moon about this as well. Here it is. Just going to start again. How about that? So
That is
there it
really
is.
amazing. It's really beautiful what they've created for you. I love it.
They have, and for, again, people who may not have been with us last week, behind that curved wall where all the rainbow butterflies are on the wall, that's my consultation area. And to the left is a reception area. And over on the other side of the office is the pictures from the theatrical production Insight that we put on 4 years ago on depression, suicide, and solutions, which we're looking to franchise. And then we saw a bit of the safari as well, that I mentioned earlier today on the show, the fundraiser. But what I haven't shared with you yet is that there's even more to that video. Because this week, Your Global Village, my neighbors, and Annalisa and Boyson, who is the founder of Your Global Village, we all went into immersive technology. So what happened this week was that we as a village were able to go and create our avatar. Very soon I'll be able to create actually my hologram, but I created my avatar this week. And as a group, we went into the village with our avatars, talked to each other, went into the e-cafe of the village, into the cafe, sat down, chatting away to each other. So we had our first run of practice with that this week. And it means that when I am consulting, I can bring you and you set up your avatar, and then you come and join me in the village and sit down in the reception room or in the consultation room, and we can chat to each other and actually be there in immersive reality. It's quite something. So that's another bit of progress that it was such good fun. It was like being in a computer game. And then to go back to where I was showing you the Insight and the safari cycle from last year, this right now we have quite an amount of progress. We've got people arriving on the 18th and 19th of August in Nairobi, Kenya, to be part of this. And the organizer of the whole event sent this picture to me this week as well, to show that they're already on their way to making things happen. And here it is. There are all the bikes loaded, leaving actually somewhere near Watamu on the coast of Kenya to be taken up to Tsavo Game Reserve. So the bikes are already up there, ready and waiting. By the time everybody arrives, they're coming in by train. So they're taking a train from Nairobi to a place called Voi on the 20th, and Chris and Janine Angel will be there to meet us all. And then we drive about an hour and a half to the first place that day, which is Zawani Lodge at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. And those bikes will be waiting for everybody. The only person that's really bringing bikes is Karen Dark, who is the British gold Paralympian joining us, one of World Jenny's Days ambassadors, and she's joining us with a film crew. So she's bringing her specialized bikes, because she's got to have a specialized bike for this part of the journey, where we're going from Kilimanjaro to the coast to Watamu on the Kenyan side. And then she and a group of friends who are also physically diversified. She's paralyzed from under her arms down. One of them is quite seriously blind. They're, by way of example, they're going through to the Tanzanian side of Mount Kilimanjaro, and they're summiting Mount Kilimanjaro, and she's got another bike for that summit because she is cycling. She's a hand cyclist because she's paralyzed. She's cycling up Mount Kilimanjaro. So things are starting, the trains are sorted out, and we're all the rooms have been booked, and who's sharing and who's single, and all that's in place now. And we're all so inspired. I haven't met Karen, although I know her like a best friend. I have a client coming from Australia who's been my client for 7 years. She's been on many Zoom calls to help other people. And she reached out to me about 6-7 years ago, because she has 3 autistic sons who at the time were under the age of 11. And she and I have worked very closely with the Epiphany process and herself and these 3 boys. And it's been such an amazing journey. So she's arriving with the middle child, Michael, and they're cycling. And I haven't met them in 6 years, and yet they're like my besties. Watching Michael and his brothers literally metamorphosize like our butterfly, and are doing amazing things now. This is what it's all about. So I'm really looking forward to meeting them all, and meeting some new people I've not had very much to do with either. So that's this 20th to the 26th of August on the Kenyan side. So that's our news for this week, Dr. Jacalyn. I don't know if you have any questions on your side.
I think the progress that you've made has been absolutely incredible. And I love how you have branched out in various areas of creativity. It's super exciting. And I don't know how you're doing everything else that you're doing at the same time.
Well, fortunately, it's not all on me on my own. Thank goodness. I mean, here I've got the backup and support of you and USA Global TV. I've got the backup and support of Dr. Madeline Chan, who's our co-executive producer. I've got my dear friend Vilna Duplessis, who was my PA 30 years ago. And it's been such an honor and pleasure having her back in my life. She's in a completely different country to me, and we meet every Monday, and she takes all those, she can't do them all because she's not full-time with me, but she takes what she can and actions what she can, and that's made a huge difference. And she's donated that time this year to World Jenny's Day because she believes so deeply about it. And even recently getting Raw Media in with Stephen Gillen, who's really pushing. We've got an amazing interview in London on the 5th of October that he has secured, which I'm going to keep under wraps for now, but it's a biggie. It's a big interview. So it's all teamwork, and it's because people believe on the same level as I did in the beginning. And as people start getting and understanding what World Jenny's Day is all about, you see it starts escalating, and more people are stepping forward and making this work.
Well, again, a huge congratulations to you. I can see how much of an effort and how many people are behind the scenes and the publicity, and it's just growing exponentially. So it's amazing how you took something literally so tragic and you've made it into something that people can join together and celebrate across the world.
Absolutely. And that has been the vision from the moment I stood at the reef edge with that last handful of ashes that belonged to Jenny. And I knew it was my last contact with her. And as I let go of them, going, oh my gosh, this is so unbelievably painful. How am I going to get through this? And that's when I sat there at the reef edge swearing that something unbelievably meaningful would come out of this tragic loss. And it's happening.
Well, bravo to you. And I hope that you're getting some rest in between all these things that you're doing, especially with your global.
How do you spell that?
I think sleep now has 4 letters instead of 5. So, but brilliant and well done. So thanks again. And if before we sign off, would you just like to tell people about some of your other shows here?
Oh, yes, I'd love to do that. Absolutely. So last night, I think we had one of the best women's prerogative shows last night. I don't know if you agree with me, Dr. Jacalyn, but every Monday, we have a women's prerogative where a panel of experts in different fields in their own right get together and discuss their thoughts and their differences and their opinions, but also contribute as well. And I thought last night was particularly thought-provoking and a great show. So that's on Mondays. And then once a month, at the end of every month, we have The Art of Mental Health Wealth. And we have a guest speaker most time, or a guest in the show that we interview. And they're amazingly thought-provoking interviews that give you an insight, a different insight into the creative side of creating mental health wealth. And this month, we will be having feedback from the cycle ride on that show. And then also at the end of the month, we have Global Adventures. And Global Adventures is a wonderful show. It's my hobby show. And basically, we follow somebody who's been on adventure somewhere in the world that wasn't about an itinerary and getting there and seeing something on the surface and leaving. This is about having gone somewhere that's often off the beaten track, or if it isn't, where they've done something meaningful in that place that's had an effect on them and others, that's filled with insight or just intrigue, a different way of living that's more than just getting off a bus and looking at it, but actually going in and participating in different ways. So those are the shows that I'm part of with USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you very much, JENETTA. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here on our platform. You bring so much value and so much joy. So thank you for that. And we will close out the show today. Our next show is coming up. It's Talking Heads with our dear friend Caroline Heward. So stay tuned for that. And JENETTA and I will be back next week. Bye, everyone.